Hey, this is Rich, the founder of Product Gym, and in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the highest and probably the most lucrative opportunities that you should consider, that you should absolutely go ahead and consider for the year of 2025. Definitely, I think that the best time to go ahead and land these jobs is sooner rather than later, because if you decide to go ahead and wait, there's going to be people that are going to crawl into these roles, and it's going to leave you. You can get left behind, you know? So the first company is, if you guys are following me on LinkedIn, and you guys really should if you guys aren't already, Palantir. The way that I like to go ahead and think about getting people a product manager job or like the highest paid product manager roles is like this. We're based out here in New York. That's the headquarters of Product Gym. Why are we here? Because I love finance people. Why do I love finance people? Because no matter how bad, the industry is, like every January when I'm taking an Ubers are always like, oh, January is the worst month because people just blew a bunch of money on December. They get hit with, people want to do things leading up to Christmas, and people want to do things for New Year's Eve. And then January, they don't really want to spend money because they just took this massive hit, right? And then people start crawling back out and start doing things again, really, like I would say, like in February and in March. But, and the restaurant industry has an impact on that. When I see finance people roaming around New York to going out there and like having a good time, I never ever see these people slow down, ever. So they turned me on to this one company called Palantir. They essentially, I think what's really cool about this company, I'm just going to move the system. And if you don't know anything about Palantir, just understand this. They build software for governments, the military, and intelligence agencies like the CIA and the NSA. Just this year alone, like Palantir, back in May, they landed, they had actually about 3 contracts. Army Vantage, Maven, and I think Titan. I don't know if Titan was from this year, but this was a $480 million contract for its Maven smart system prototype. Okay. The latest one, which happened about a week ago, is a $619 million contract. Somebody actually asked me to correct myself because it's like, no, Rich, it's 618.9 million. I mean, don't get cheap now. Like at that point, who's really counting, right? But they're absolutely crushing it out there right now. And that stock, just to be totally transparent, I hold Palantir shares. This stock has been absolutely crushing it. So Palantir is one, and they also do a lot in the world of cybersecurity. Now, having mentioned that, you got defense. Like, think about it. Like, we're always going to be at war, right? So some of the highest paid roles are actually in types of companies like Palantir. So I am coming up with another video where I'm going to be showing y'all the competitors against Palantir. They've been doing exceptionally well too. I think this article actually here covers it, where they talk about like SoundHound AI. But Palantir is actually one. So anybody that's like making software for governments, AI software for governments, like, military, those are great. Other things such as Oklo. I don't know if you guys heard of Oklo, but it's a nuclear power company, and it's backed by none other than Mr. Sam Altman. Sam Altman pushes his nuclear startup Oklo. Bust out. Sam Altman, nuclear science power agreement with data center. And I've been wondering what is going on with like what does like nuclear power have to do with AI? So I actually did some research on, my trusted friend ChatGPT here, and I was actually looking it up. Like, why is nuclear energy important to AI? It's basically high energy demands of AI systems. Training large AI models such as deep learning systems require massive computational power, which consumes substantial amount of electricity. Nuclear energy can provide the steady and reliable energy supply necessary to support these processes. Data centers. AI often operates in data centers, which are energy intensive facilities using nuclear power to power these centers help ensure continuous operations without interruptions caused by energy fluctuations. And that's what we're basically seeing here. They are signing deals with these data centers, and I actually did some more research. Uh, every tech CEO, every tech CEO is betting on nuclear. Sam Altman's with Oklo, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos. We got Jensen Huang saying nuclear, an integral part of AI future. Bill Gates, TerraPower chairman. I guess like when you call something TerraPower, you don't think of something as bad as like nuclear energy. And the craziest thing is like as an investor myself, I'm nowhere near the scale. I'm small potatoes. I'm going to say that humbly. Like I've been watching this one show just called Landman. If you guys are not watching this show, y'all need to go ahead and watch this show. It is a freaking great show, and it's written by Taylor Sheridan, who is like, if you're familiar with like Yellowstone, or like Wind River, gosh, he does like a bunch of stuff like 1823, the whole shebang. Like it's he's got this whole like cowboy Midwestern universe with Paramount Lioness. Yeah, like they talk a lot about like oil and nuclear energy and all that stuff that I thought was like really. I mean, I'm not taking a stance on it one way or the other. I thought that was like all bad. But like I'm actually starting to see starting to come around the light a little bit in terms of like why people are doing it. But these guys cannot be possibly. I mean, come on, let's take a look at this backdrop here. These guys cannot possibly be more left. If they are backing nuclear energy, there is a reason for that. And there's going to be a lot of AI roles that are going to go ahead and open up. And these companies hire for product managers too. So I'm always telling product managers that if you want to make the most amount of money, you got to go ahead and work at the types of companies that are making the most amount of money. It's going to be very different if you are my private chef versus if you were one of these guys as private chef, right? You get paid more. If you were my trainer versus if you were the trainer for one. If you were my pickleball coach, I don't got the legs to play tennis anymore. It's too much running. Versus any one of these guys as pickleball coach, right? The people that make more money are always going to be willing to go ahead and spend more money. So when people are thinking, like, why do people want to go ahead and work for big tech, like Meta, Google? Because generally speaking, they think these are the companies that have the most name recognition because they think they are the ones making the most money, and they think by default they're the ones that are paying the most money. Honestly speaking, if there's a company that you never heard of that was paying product managers $1 million a year, I mean, would you really care? Probs not. Probably not, right? So, with that said, like AI, I'm doing a little bit more research, but all these companies here that are doing like anything with cybersecurity, which kind of brings me to my next thing is, well, AI, security enhancements, right? They are also going to need a lot of cybersecurity implementation because if somebody hacks, if like AI enhances the protection of nuclear facilities from cyber threats by detecting. If somebody hacks one of these facilities, it's actually going to be some deep doo-doo right there. So it all comes back, which is why we're offering the Certified Ethical Hacker. We've been approved by EC Council to offer Certified Ethical Hacker and also the CompTIA Security Plus certification as part of our curriculum. So definitely inquire about that. But we're not forcing people. We're just letting people know if you want this as an add-on for your side dish, we have it here on the menu. Not every product management program can actually say that, folks. But we can go ahead and do it. 100% we can go ahead and do it. So other things that people should be aware of is if you're looking at like product management from just a very general sense of road mapping, go to market, pricing, and all that, those days, I'm not going to say it's over. But like that's no longer where the money is at. Companies are either they have either already heavily adopted AI. AI is going to affect everything that we're doing. I think earlier in the year, in 2024, we all remembered when the SAG writers were on strike, and it was largely because they're looking at their contracts like AI can replace them as writers. AIs can use the likeness of an actor and go ahead and like I actually got a chance to see it because we recently got somebody into Netflix, and they were telling me about some of the software in entertainment. And we hear of things like wellness tech, obviously fintech, crypto, and all that. We never hear too much about something like entertainment technology, right? It exists. Like let's just say when they're watching the footage again, and Tom Cruise didn't look that badass when he made a jump, they can make a little few tweaks here and there and actually make it look way cooler. That's how it's going to go ahead and start off. AI is going to affect every aspect of everything that we do is going to have AI. So if you want to work in product management and you don't have AI, well, like you're going to have a problem. Now, with AI comes a lot more cybersecurity attacks. So if you have the AI background and you have a cybersecurity background, you're actually positioning yourself for the most amount of roles. Because here's the thing that I think people need to really wrap their head around. Things in product management things are getting done faster these days, a lot faster. And that just means whatever role we hire for as a product manager, companies are thinking about like, we can probably get this person we're hiring you to do a job. There's 12 months out of the year. And we think with our current resources and capability and with AI, something that would have taken us 12 months can get done in 3 to 4 months. So the conversation they're always going to wrestle with is like, whenever you're done doing whatever it is that we need you to do, what are you going to be doing after that? What are you going to be doing after that? And if they have no idea, and they're kind of hoping secretly that the team's going to get it because the team's still got to be working. The team's going to get it done. That's why those interview processes, if you feel like they're kind of like stalling and not really trying to make the deal, you ain't wrong. It's exactly what's going on. So the more skills that you're bringing into the table, you can let them know. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. You have to help them actually visualize all the things that you can do. You also have to go ahead and present additional problems and challenges that the company will encounter in the future, because they're thinking that they're not going to need you for the next 12 months. And that's why we're seeing an increase in the number of contract roles that are opening across tech. If they can get what they need to get out of you without paying you, they will. I mean, it's the same reason why people are watching our YouTube videos. You guys are trying to see how much free information you can milk from us so you don't have to pay us to get a job done, essentially getting you the job you want, considering other people have gone through our program. You're trying to see how much of this shit you can get for free. I don't blame you. I do the same shit. I'm Chinese. Companies on the other side, they're thinking a lot more like you than you think, than you can possibly imagine. So load up, come in with more skills, more tools, and brand yourself off as more multifaceted, because that's why the generalists in 2025 are going to crush and out-earn the specialists. When you have a very boom economy, the specialists are going to go ahead and make more money, because we just want you to do something very specific. You're going to be a specialist. You specialize. You are special. But in a very volatile economy where things are changing all the time, we need people that can go out there and wear many different hats and constantly reinvent themselves and be very different things. And if you're only branding yourself off as just one thing or two things, or I only do this thing, well, what happens if I need something else? And it's not because the company's trying to be difficult. It's genuinely, the market's moving faster than ever. more so than the company is actually even comfortable with. So if you show that you're actually very comfortable with change and you show that you're a very versatile candidate, even just letting them know I'm in the process right now of getting my CompTIA Security Plus done. And let me tell you how that can go out there and let me show you how that can help your organization come 5 to 6 months from now when we have these problems. You're going to be so much hotter than somebody else because let's face it, when you buy something, you want to buy value. You want to buy big value. You want to buy, value in high quality and high quantity, right? Somebody has these extra skills and you don't. You know what that positions you? Less valuable. So even for the same amount of money, all things being considered, if I can go out there and I feel like I can get more out of this person, I'm going to go ahead and hire that person. We are doing so many calls right now. I'm taking the calls with my admissions team. I was interviewing admission staff members, possible admission team members, and somebody comes to me and he's like, yo, Rich, I see here that in addition to you doing calls, like I also see like you're dropping a lot of YouTube content, and I do a little bit of editing. I would love to help you edit some of these videos, and I do really well with shorts. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm hiring for somebody to help me take calls. But if you're also showing me that it didn't even occur to me, because usually video editors, they're not going to want to work in sales. And salespeople, they're expecting salespeople to have video editing backgrounds, not necessarily part of their job description, right? But if you're showing me you have these bonuses, well, holy cow, what else do you have to share with me? I'm always looking for that. Always looking for that. I mean, one of my admissions team members right now speaks fluent Portuguese. We get a lot of calls for some reason from Brazil. Hey, anything, help me think of ways to go out there, put more money in my pocket. I'm always interested in talking to those people more, and it becomes a struggle because I'm thinking like with this person, I'm going to get more out of them versus less. So this is the problem. I can go on and on about this all day. I'm not here to hurt anybody here. I want you guys to make the most amount of money in product management this year. The way that you're going to make the most amount of money in product management is by wearing a lot of different types of hats and being able to fill a lot of needs that the company didn't even realize that you can go ahead and fulfill. So when you go after just one job description, when you just go after one, you're like, I'm completely tailored for this role. And somebody else is like, well, I could do this and all this other stuff. And I can do as many other things. Like, you need me to do 7 things for this job. I can do those 7 things and another 7 things and another 7 problems you never even imagined you had. But this is how I can go out there and add value. Who would you hire? Hire the other person. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Schedule the call with us. Level up on skills. If you want to be relevant in the restaurant business, you just have to have a better restaurant. Like, Instagram photos are only going to get you so far. Interview skills are only going to get you so far. If you have the better skills, you don't have to worry as much. And I always hear from product managers, but I have these skills. Yeah, but can you communicate them? Is it in a way that they understand, right? Last story I'm going to leave you guys with today. We all have that one friend that's like, what do you use, an Apple? I mean, a PC could do all that. An Android can do all that. Yeah, but when you go look on the street, who's winning? Apple or Microsoft and Android or PC? It's Apple. In fact, if like I text somebody and it's not blue, it's green, it's almost kind of a turnoff. It's like the worst shade of green ever, right? The blue is like way sexier. That's just what we're talking about here. So let's go ahead and talk about how to get you into a higher paying product manager job. And I promise it's going to more than make up for the fee that you're investing here with us. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I know 80% of you are constantly watching our videos without subscribing. Don't do that to yourself. Help us out. You could do that much. Let's get it.